Yeah, what's up guys? Today in this tutorial, I will teach you how to create this animated search bar using HTML and CSS only. As you can see, these images are moving up and down. Here I have a button. So let me go to my VS Code and I will show you exactly how to create such a thing. So first and foremost, kitu ya kwanza we're going to create the background div. A div is like a box yenye itahold our background. So dot background. And this background hii ndo tutastyle sasa hiyo color and yeah, and then after background we are going to create a form. So why are we creating a form? First and foremost, your search bar, your detail unataka kusearch. For example, users amekuja ameenter, for example, I want this and this. Your content ana search, it goes to the server so that ikuwe processed. Then after being processed in the server, the results come back to the user. And that's why we use a form. Because a form, it provides this method to send that user data to the server. So form, I'm going to write here form. Ukiandika form, as you can see, this is action. Now, in action, this is where you write now the path to your server, ama the link to your server. But since hapa, hatuna server, I'm going to put a hash. Then you can say method, but method these are ways you send your data. You can either use post or get as a method in which you want to transmit the search result to the server. So there are usually two methods. We have get and post, but usually it's recommended to use post. But in the scope of this video, we are not going to do that. I just wanted you to know. So that's a form. And then inside the form, we are going to put our input, where the user will key in the text. So input type is equals to text. And then we're going to put a placeholder. So let me remove this placeholder. Sa placeholder niyo, acha niandike, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? Placeholder, it's the text that appears at the search bar. So let me click save. As you can see, sahi inakaa hivyo. Sasa, so in this form, let me give it a class name, class called search bar. And then nikishaka hiyo input, I can add a button. So button yetu ni ile search icon, iko na ile search icon. So button, then ndani yake ni image, then hiyo image ni ile search, the search image. So inakaa hivyo. Sasa hii ni button yetu, hiyo search. So let me remove this alternative. Okay, let me go back to my VS Code. To my style sheet, and then we start styling. So background yetu, dot background. I'm going to give it a color, linear gradient background. And then I want it to fill the entire screen. So the width and the height, width 100%, height 100 VH, meaning viewport height. So it will be 100 of that screen you're using. Kama ni phone, it will be 100% of it. Okay, and then display flex. Since the background it's the parent element, nikisema display flex, it has only one child, and the child it's this form. So niki display flex justify content center, this entire form which holds our input and our button, it will be placed at the center. So display flex, and when you display flex, you display the parent. So display flex, then the children, justify content center, then align item center. Okay, so we can go and style our search bar, this div. So let me copy here, search bar, Control C. I'm going to give it a width of 90%. border radius for rounded color, for a rounded corner, 10 pixels. And then I'm going to justify display flex, and align item center. So that's our search bar so far. Then I'm going to style our input, so dot search bar alafu input. So I'm going to just copy that search bar, dot search bar, and then our input. Then I'm going to say flex 1. So nikisema flex 1, what happens is that see nilikuwa nisha display flex. So flex 1, it makes this input to go all the way up to the end. So flex 1, as you can see, inakuwa hivyo sasa. And then I'm going to give it the font. I'm going to increase the size. So font size, I'm going to say large. And then I want to remove the outline and the border. So outline 0, border 0. Border 0, background transparent. Okay, so far so good. So I can come and I can type here. Sorry. Yeah, I can type there. Now we have to style our email. So I'm going to say dot search bar, and then img, and as to style our image. So I'm going to give it a width 40 pixels. Yeah, 40 pixels. Then I'm going to style now our button. Niseme background transparent, ndo hii nini itoke, hiyo stuff ya gray. So I'm going to say background transparent, then border 0, outline 0, then cursor pointer. So if I come here, cursor, yeah, my cursor becomes a pointer. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going to put in our images. Nilikuwa download 3 images. Yeah, the image icon, video icon, and the music icon. So here on my button below, I'm going to create another div. And this div, I'm going to load it. I'm going to call it slide image. Slides. Let me just call it slides. And inside that slides, I'm going to create 3 divs for my images. So the first image, so img, then video, image, then let me just copy and paste this same div, Control C, then music, so far so good. So zimekuja hapo. Okay, so I'm going to style them. I'm going to come back here kwa hii search bar. I'm going to say this position relative, and then on these easy slides, I'm going to say position absolute. So position absolute, then left, let me say 300 pixels. Yeah, tukayo ikuwe malika hapo. and okay, so I'm going to come and style our images. So I'm going to come here, I copy, I'm going to give it a height of 70 pixels, and then display flex, and then align items. Do nataka this image icon ikuwe at least somewhere here center, so I'm going to say display flex, then align item center. So flex inakaa hivyo, then align item center at least. So naona that image icon imekama hapo hivyo. So the next thing we're going now to create our animation, ndo zikuwe zinaweza kuslide juu na chini. So I'm going to come here to our slides, because hii ndo hiyo container, the overall container, hiyo ndo tunataka kuitranslate up and down. So up and down in the y axis. So I'm going to come here and say animation, then I'm going to give it a name. So my name, let me just call it slide. Then the duration, so unataka ikuwe duration ya how many seconds, so you can say 3 seconds. Then ikuwe infinite, because you don't want the animation to end, ikuwe tu inajionyesha hivyo infinite. Then you can say alternate, ikifika juu irudi chini, alternate. Okay, so that's the animation. Now after creating that animation, you use keyframes to keyframes unaandika hapo at the point of your animation, what do you want it to happen, and pattern at every point. So hapo ndo una define like exactly your animation, what you want the animation to do. So you come, you say at, then keyframes. So the first thing you write, it's your animation name, and our animation name is the word slide. So utaandika slide. Now that you've created the animation name, utaweka hivyo, then sasa hapa ndani, now you define in that animation what do you want exactly to happen in that animation. So you can say at 0% I want it to translate. So you transform, then translate y, because we are dealing in the y axis. Translate y. So naona ikimove juu na chini, that's the y axis. Ikimove left and right, that's the x axis. Yeah, so our first translation is this 0, inabaki tu hapo at the state at which it is. So to make my work easier, let me just copy paste this, and then I'm going to do the transformation at each and every stage. Kwanza hii 0%, what it means, tunaona hiyo time umeka kama ni 3 seconds. So 0% at 3 seconds, sasa hiyo ni 0. So at 0, when the time is equals to 0, the translation is iko hapo 0, iko stagnant. So ukisema 10%, so 10% of 3 seconds. So when time is equals to that 10% of that time, the translation will move at that. Unaona, so hii percentage, it is the percentage of that time of which uli declare hapa. Sasa, so I like doing mine in 0, 20, 30, 40, 40, 50, 60, 60. Then let me copy the other 60, 70, 80, 90, so 60, 70, 80, 90, 90, so the last one is 100. Sasa, so far I move kwa sababu the translate y is equals to 0. So first and foremost, the first one at it translate at 20%, I want it to translate at 70 pixels. Why 70 pixels? Ukiangalia the height of these images and niliweka 70 pixels. So this image is like a container kwa sababu iko kwa div. So 70 pixels ikimove itakuwa able ku reach to the other container na maintaining the height iko hapa at the center. Sasa so 70 pixels. So acha ni tunaona sasa inakaa hivyo. Ikimove inasonga. Na unaona inasonga equally, this icon inakuwa hapa at the center kwa sababu nimeka 70 pixels. Nikika 80 pixels, yes ita move, but hii icon itakuwa mahali huku chini, unaona. So 40% I'm going to say 0. 60% I'm going to say -70. Negative sasa counter to the Cartesian plane, -70, it moves upwards. So -70 pixels. So as you can see, pia ya chini inaenda. kwa sababu ina move upwards. Sasa then the other one I'm going to say negative 140, negative 140, 140 pixels, negative 140 pixels. So far hivyo ndio inakaa. So unaona, so far that is our animation. So ukiona it's too fast, you can increase the time. So if you increase the time, the speed ina reduce. Sasa so nikiweka 4 seconds, as you can see inakaa hivyo. So uta increase time yako hadi ile time unaona kama that's too fast, you can either increase to 5 seconds, unaweza sema 4.5. So far inakaa hivyo. So let us deal with that speed. Sasa so we have to hide these images zisionekane. So I'm going to come here at our search bar. Kwa hii search bar yetu I'm going to say overflow hidden, overflow hidden, ndo zisionekane hizi zenye zinatoka nje. So that's how it looks. So guys, that is our animated search bar. If you want to learn more about this translation, hizi matranslate, why watch my next video. So thank you for your time, subscribe and learn for free.